Boom! What is up, Waves Capital? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about how Bitcoin miners and cryptocurrencies in general look like they're shaping up for some big moves to the upside in the wake of the macro optimism that was created by the recent Fed meetings. To get more specific, I want to talk to you guys about why I believe Riot Blockchain stock, or Riot, will be sitting at $9 or higher 1 week from today tops. Okay, so of course we will be taking a look at Riot on the charts. We'll also be taking a look at the King, because ultimately the price of BTC does heavily impact the price of Riot Blockchain and Bitcoin miners overall, considering their revenue is based upon the price of Bitcoin. Okay, so we will be taking a look at both Riot and Bitcoin on TradingView, talking some technicals, and considering Bitcoin's looking pretty damn good, that only feeds the bull argument for Riot and Bitcoin miners overall as well. Okay, next to TradingView, do have CoinMarketCap open simply to show you guys how well Bitcoin and crypto overall. I mean, Bitcoin up 8% in the past 24 hours at the time of recording. Ether up 13%. Once again, this was catalyzed by optimism surrounding that Fed meeting and the markets overall, not just the cryptocurrency markets, but as you guys are aware, the equity markets, the stock market is performing beautifully as well. And I mentioned this in the macro newsletter. I'm not going to dive into the macro right now. Maybe I'll do that this weekend or something. But you guys, this Fed meeting is objectively good news for the markets. And I'm feeling very, very good about all of the bulls out there because the markets are looking very promising. Okay, so no need to reference this. But what I do want to kick off the video with prior to diving into the charts is the piece that I wrote on Riot in this morning's newsletter. And of course, I will just expand on all of the points I make here as we dive into the charts. Okay, so let's kick it off. Bitcoin miners were on fire today following the market-wide rush of optimism. And I'm very happy that I established 916 call position prior to that rally. So a little inside there, but let me know in the comments down below. Were you guys loaded up with calls today? And did you pick up any Riot, any Mara, any Coinbase over the past few days when they saw their correction? Because this is just playing out beautifully. Okay, we've had a $9 price target for Riot set for almost 2 months now. And the reason for that is because I believe that we need to close the gap that was created in early May. So again, we'll elaborate on this as we dive into the charts, of course. Okay, so Riot Blockchain is expected to announce earnings, getting a little more fundamental, is expected to announce earnings on August 22nd. Historically, they tend to release their report prior to the date estimated by analysts, so stay on your toes because it could definitely come sooner, and my money would be on the fact that it does come a little sooner. Okay, regardless of when they do report, I'm confident that it will shine light on the undervalued nature of Riot as a company relative to its share price. And I think that the stock will reflect that reality. I hold the same sentiment for all of the growth stocks in the Waves Cap portfolio moving into the month of August. Okay, so as we've been saying, you guys, and this isn't just my hot take. I think this is the sentiment of a lot of traders who are still in this game, who have spent a lot of time playing these small caps, playing growth stocks over the past, I mean, for a lot of people, for a lot of retail investors, just past couple of years. But I mean, I've been playing small caps and growth stocks for close to a decade now. And you guys, to say, like, when this happens, it's always an opportunity. When you know you have a great company on your hands, when, I mean, the numbers speak for themselves, and that's a perfect example in Riot's case, and fear brings them down, and fear and liquidation and over leverage leads these stocks to become extremely oversold beyond the point of rationale. That's when it's time to scoop up, and that's what this whole area right here has been, right? This whole area, I'm talking about $4, $5 Riot, is arguably the opportunity of a lifetime. You could be set, not financial advice, but in my opinion, if you bought Riot stock at $5 and just forgot about it for 5-10 years, you would be so stoked when you came back to your phone and logged back into your brokerage account a decade later, right? Okay, so when you know you have a good thing, you got to capitalize, especially when there's blood in the water, especially when everyone else is just scared and running for the hills and running out of money, honestly. So if you guys are still standing, if you guys still have some capital to play with, join the winning team. All right, the Waves Capital portfolio crushed it today. I'm very excited for what the month of August has to bring, with a lot of these smaller cap, small to mid cap stocks and companies reporting earnings over the course of August. And I'm just really excited about the current state of the portfolio and what the fall and winter months hold in store for Waves Capital. So if you guys want, again, complete breakdown of every single position in my portfolio, options, common shares, cryptocurrencies, which I do update every single trading day during market hours, and also send out a trade alert newsletter explaining my thoughts, along with a macro newsletter and a price targets newsletter every day. This right here is part of the price targets newsletter. As you can see, this is number 5. So we cover 5 to 6 stocks charts every day with updated price targets on some of our favorite names. So if you want to know what my favorite names are, if you want to know the call options I have on them, if you want just day-to-day updates during, again, in a more timely manner than YouTube videos, on all of my favorite growth stocks right now, because again, I'm pumped for growth stocks going into the month of August. That is going to be $15 a month or $40 for every 3 months. Completely up to you. Can always unsubscribe, but I trust you won't. And again, I look forward to seeing you guys in there. Welcome to the winning team in advance. All right, let's get into, again, just take a look at this. Up 8% the past 24 hours, and Ether on absolute fire. But I mean, the real MVPs of the day, of the week, maybe. You want to talk about just some good looks. Coinbase up 11%, Riot up 15%, in Marathon Digital, good old Mara, Miss Mara, up over 20%. Okay, so this is looking great. And just from a short-term technical perspective, I do want to point out the RSI. So the Stoke RSI, that is one of the cleanest curls to the upside that I can recall seeing in a very long time. 4-hour stochastic RSI. When you see a curl like that to the upside, that's very good for short-term price action. Okay, so on top of that, the standard RSI is above its exponential moving average, which is also very good for short-term price action. On top of that, Bitcoin's looking good. And once again, we'll close it out by looking at Bitcoin. But on top of everything else, BTC is looking strong as well. Okay, so all of that said, and the equity markets, of course, as I just mentioned, following just the optimism that has flooded the markets after today's Fed meeting, and will likely continue moving forward. It's just very, very good news for especially for the markets overall, but especially these oversold growth stocks that have just gotten, once again, irrationally beaten down into the ground. Which, once again, hopefully earnings will shed some light on the reality of the value of these companies and really invigorate them on top of all the other macroeconomic momentum that is already guiding these higher. Okay, so justify the $9 price target. I mean, very, very simple, you guys. Riot, let's zoom out a little bit first. Riot has broken above this very significant long-term line of resistance. We covered that in our recent Riot video. So touch point here, November high, next touch point here. Riot did break above that. Since then, has been moving beautifully. And this is looking like a pretty textbook second wave as well. First wave, a lot of momentum, a lot of volume, following a long-term breakout, macro reversal to the upside, short-term pullback, just a little correction, which again provided an amazing opportunity. I've personally been picking up. Again, shout out to the portfolio newsletter group. Let me know if you guys were picking up some Riot calls with me on this little ride down, because it seemed pretty obvious for a while. Honestly, since over back here, and that's why I said here that this has been our price target for about 2 months, since we saw that big gap down. Since we saw that big gap down in early May, that we had to fill that gap. Okay, at some point, it was more a matter of when, not if. And I think the when is now, and I think the when will be over the coming week. So I do think this gap needs to be filled. This gap ranges from about $9 to about $9.50. So my target range for Riot in the short term is $9 to $9.50. But I think they could travel much higher. It's important to keep in mind that Riot, let's zoom out a lot. Riot from its all-time high, I'll go to the daily charts and get macro real quick before jumping into BTC. But Riot from its all-time high in the glory days of February 2021 is still down 90% from its all-time high, and right there, and 85% from its November high. Okay, so do these levels make sense? Do I think Riot will see $80 anytime in the coming year, maybe 2 years? I don't, honestly. To get back to $80, I think it's going to take Riot at least 3 to 5 years. But considering we're at $7 right now, you're looking at a 10x. If you can 10x your money in a realistic environment, that was not the past couple of years because that was not realistic. If you can 10x your money in the span of a few years by not doing anything, that is, I mean, that's investing right there. That is long-term investing. And that's why a lot of times, like, I'm a trader, I'm a swing trader. I try to capitalize on more medium-term games, I'd say, short to medium-term time horizons as far as my trading and activity is concerned in the Waves Cap portfolio and my personal portfolio. But I mean, again, you guys, right now, especially given the Fed statement, Jerome Powell's statements this morning, I think there's a lot of upside ahead, not only in the longer term, but in the medium to the short to medium term as well. Okay, so Riot price target, again, the range ranges from $9 to $9.50, but I wouldn't be surprised if we go any higher. And newsletter fam, I will definitely be covering Riot maybe every day, if not every other day, over the coming week or so. Okay, so let's close out the video with good old BTC. At this moment in time, Bitcoin looking good as well. Again, 4-hour Stokes just curled to the upside, well above the RSI EMA, or exponential moving average on the RSI. And we are sitting pretty in this nice ascending channel following a macro breakout on Bitcoin as well. So, geez, sorry, I'm moving all around here, you guys. So again, Bitcoin did break out of long-term resistance on July 18th. Multiple touch points here. Every trader and their mom was looking at that guy. Broke above it, came down. Almost retested it, previous resistance is new support, but found support on the short-term ascending channel, those two perpendicular cyan lines right there, creating that ascending channel. And at this point, I said this in the newsletter as well, at this point, I think I would personally put the odds at 90% that Bitcoin makes its way up to just under $27,000 to retest this technical previous low, the previous floor of the last leg down on the macro downtrend, which comes in at exact like just 26,700 if you want to get specific. Trade that will definitely, like, because Bitcoin traders are so technical and so almost anal about it, I do think this will come into play as a ceiling. But realistically, I think Bitcoin can rally up to at least like $28,000 over the course of the next week or two, which would translate from where we're at now at just under 23K to about 23% of upside. Okay, so that's the video, you guys. Again, let me know if you're excited about Bitcoin, about cryptocurrencies, about Bitcoin miners, which ones you're excited about, if you were loaded with call options today, because if so, cheers to that, and cheers to the future as well, because I'm very excited for what is in store. Until next time, you guys, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.